Mountain Smith here, reading the Bible for the first time, my honest reactions of things. I finished the book of Genesis yesterday. And before I jump into the next book, which is called Exodus, which sounds pretty kind of ominous and sounds like there's going to be something kind of bad there. I've never moved ahead. I just read from page to page, moving forward. But my journey here of reading the Bible, I picked it up at first a little over a month ago, I guess maybe January 1st of 2025. And I just started reading. I just opened it up and just started reading from Genesis 1. I didn't really understand what I was doing. I've just been documenting my journey here of reading it, and I've started to get into a better flow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread like Genesis 1 through maybe 25, because I feel like I missed a whole bunch of stuff there, maybe like through Genesis 26. And that's where I started to get into a better flow and understand how the Bible is written for an understanding of things, because it's very difficult. There's a lot that goes on. And I'm going to read the content here because I didn't read that at very first. It says, Moses, according to tradition, is the author, and the date written 1450 to 1410 BC. So, as its name implies, Genesis is the book of beginning. It starts with the creation of the world and every living creature in it. It records the first marriage, the first sin, the first consequences of sin, and the first reference to God's future plan to redeem humanity. After recounting the stories of the flood and the Tower of Babel, Genesis also tells the story of the birth of a nation, Israel. The story begins as God calls Abraham, the father of the Israelites, to leave his hometown. Ur, located in modern-day Iraq. Oh, see, this is a great example of why perhaps it's really good to go back and reread the Bible, or any story for that matter. I mean, I've got other books that I like to go back and reread and learn things, because this says however that is, located in modern-day Iraq. Well, that was a question that I had earlier. I'm trying to think of where are these places, and it's literally telling me right here at the beginning of Genesis where it is. Now, I didn't want to read that content prior to reading Genesis because I just wanted to read the story like any other normal book, my understanding of things. Okay, so continuing on with this context. To leave his hometown. So God calls Abraham, the father of the Israelites, to leave his hometown, located in modern-day Iraq, and move to Canaan, the land God promised his descendants. Eventually, the Redeemer of the world would come from the descendants of Abraham. The story then shifts to the exploits of Isaac, Abraham's son, and then to Jacob, Abraham's grandson. Genesis concludes with the remarkable experiences of Joseph. Yes, it does, actually. And everything that we just talked about here shifts to the exploits of Isaac, Abraham's son, and then to Jacob and Abraham's grandson. The Tower of Babel, Abraham and moving to Canaan, all of this stuff, I really feel like I just don't quite remember. So that's why I'm going to go back and reread all this beginning. Because I'm kind of at the point now, after reading a lot here, that I'm going to understand a lot more of it and take it in, like actually remember it, because that's what you got to do. There's so much that goes on here. So